Namaste everyone. Very warm welcome to Satsang today. Guru Srimati Baba ki Jai. The thing is just a form of confusion. If you're not confused, you cannot suffer. And what is this confusion? We'll find that at the root of all confusion is confusion about who I am. As you're becoming clearer about who you are, you're finding it more and more difficult to be confused and therefore to suffer. What makes us suffer? Let's take an example. If I have a grievance against you, I'm suffering. You might not even know it, but my grievance makes me suffer. So what's a grievance? The idea that somebody did something to me that they should not have done. Why do you come to satsang and not listen properly? Suppose that is the grievance. Why come to satsang and not listen properly? So the idea that I could believe in, it says that you are an individual doer and I am an individual experiencer of your doing, can cause this idea of a grievance. And I am suffering from that. But once it is seen that all is a movement of consciousness, all a movement in the ocean of consciousness, all waves in one being, then who is to hold this grievance against who? If there are no two, if there is only one, only God is, then who is doing what to who? So grievances, resentment. There are other things that I can suffer from. Pride. I'm speaking really well today. It's really good. You see? So the idea that I am an individual entity who is taking a particular action, which is a lie. Because these words are just emerging in the same ocean of consciousness. These words emerge. Then I make a limited notion about myself, that I am an entity who is doing this well, or is doing this, saying this well. Then pride can come, specialness can come. So all that we call suffering is basically a collection of all of these things, like resentment, grievances, pride, specialness, arrogance. All of these things collectively we call suffering. And at the root of all of this is a mistaken identity, a mistaken idea that I am something. I am something which I am not everything. And ultimately, you see that you are nothing. All that is everything are also emerging within you. But you are that nothing from which all things come. And as you are seeing this more and more every day, then what can you hold on to? Which variety of suffering can you have? Let's take the suffering of the seeker, who is saying, yes, I haven't yet got it. I want it. How come this one who came yesterday just He came and he got it. But I have been coming to satsang for 4 years, 10 years, 20 years. You see? So what is the root of the I in that? You're still considering yourself to be an individual body mind who can never get it. The body mind is just an appearance, just a wave in the same ocean of consciousness. So there is nothing that can get. A thought will not get it. A set of sensations that we call the body will not get it. That which you have always been is coming to its own, in the play, coming to its own recognition of itself. If you consider yourself to be an object within time, then also you'll have a lot of this confusion. I saw that yesterday. I saw yesterday that I am awareness. Today I lost it. It is not true. Right now, what you're seeing is the truth. What you're interpreting is the false. False because it is a limited idea about yourself. So I trust you're seeing, not what you're saying. Because your saying is often colored, mostly colored by the limited mind. The mind which is selling you the story of your limitation. That's why in satsang more and more I'm saying, stay with your insight rather than your inference. If like a little child, you're able to just even report if you're doing the inquiry together. If you're reporting just what you're seeing, I am seeing the world, Father. I am seeing or experiencing this body. So I say, who sees all of this? Say, I am. I am seeing. Who is aware of this I am? And if you don't use any prior knowledge, this truth is apparent. It is I who is aware. But this I is not an object. It's not in time and space. So let all knowledge come and go. You don't rely on it. You are seeing this about yourself right now. You don't need to wait for an awakening experience. You see, this is your moment of awakening without it having to be an experience of something. Whatever the experience might be, you are that. You are this. Don't have to take a step. Don't have to move an inch. All movements can happen, but your nature remains unchanged. All the clues are there. All the pointings are there. In this moment, you are seeing your truth. You might bind the but from the mind. But in bind but or not, you are still seeing the truth. All that is experienced is within you. If you don't buy the false story of your boundary from the mind. This is the addiction. You don't need a proclamation because I'm proclaiming for you on your behalf. All of you are my Sangha, you're my children. So allow me to proclaim it on your behalf. So you don't need a certificate, you don't need a proclamation, and you don't need any judgment actually about yourself. Because the judgment you will make will again be only exclusive to a certain set of sensations, which you will call your body, your name, your form. This is just the habit. Right now, there is perceiving happening effortlessly. The functioning of sight, the functioning of hearing, functioning of smell, taste, touch, all of this perceiving. Are you doing it? It's just happening. Now, your existence, are you doing it? Are you keeping it up? If you don't get a thought for 3 minutes, will existence vanish? This is the fear. If I don't prop up my existence with a thought, I will die. What is going to happen to my life? It will disintegrate. Nothing happens. All things come and go. Existence stays. Ultimately, in existence comes and goes. But that which is aware of existence and non-existence, that remains. If your life had to be run supported by an energy construct called thoughts, then what would you be? You see? If to run this life you needed thoughts, what must you be then? You must be something limited. No? You cannot say this about God. God needs thoughts to run this life. Therefore, there must be a me which is minor, which is limited, which is trying to run this life using the construct called thoughts. This is what I meant. That all confusion is confusion about who you are. Sometimes God can seem like too big a word. Just a 3-letter word. For us, it can seem like it is too big. A longer word seems more comfortable. Let's say consciousness. So consciousness is here. Effortlessly, it is here. Now, what does this consciousness need? You have to check and tell. What does this consciousness need? So let's say consciousness is the sense I am. I am. Not the fragrance of the sense I am. Not the perfume. Not the feeling I am. Not the thought I am. But existence itself. The basis of all of that is I am. This is consciousness. What is missing? Is there one who wants freedom? In the notionless existence, notionless existence I've been talking about this. Which means when we don't put a notion after I am, we don't put an idea after I am, nothing is missing. Does this I am want more money? Does it want best relationship in the world? Does it want nirvana, enlightenment, moksha? What will you do with that? If you got it, will you become more than I am? It's like, okay, I'm giving out moksha today. What is it for? What is it for? You can never be more than I am. Because I am is already all there is. Don't take my word for it. Check. Check using your own insight, not your judgment. So, what is a spiritual seeker? A spiritual seeker is I am picking up the notion that I am an individual entity who has freedom missing, and then we take on this search. But what is most natural to you? Is the seeker most natural to you? And you wake up in the morning, first thing you exist. In fact, the waking up happens in your existence. First I am, then time and space is. So if you wake up as that, then how you become this one? Forget even waking up as that. Right now, in this very moment, you are that. Notice how you will put on the mask of something. And the offer for the mask will usually in satsang, it will start with a but. Yes, yes, yes. But yesterday, I experienced anger for 10 full minutes. Yes, but you're God right now. No, no, but when I satsang, then I lose it again. But you're God right now. What is important than this in this moment? Can anything be more important than seeing what you are is all there is? This untainted consciousness, unburdened by any notion. And ultimately, you are even greater than that. That which is aware of the coming and going even of consciousness. You are seeing this so naturally, so simply. Why you're doing all this hard work of believing the but? Just habit. If you're addicted to smoking, what is the habit of what is it called when you let go of the habit? You're kicking the butt. So this salesman of your limited identity will keep trying. And it itself will complain about it. Say, but this mind doesn't keep quiet. Where's the complaint coming from? The mind itself. This is what Bhagavan meant when he said, the thief tending to be the policeman, trying to catch the thief. You have no trouble. No trouble. The existence of God is here as your very own being. This is not some fantasy. And I know for many of you, This is becoming your direct experience. So I might ask you very simply, do you exist effortlessly or with effort? But just the looking at this can take away all your suffering. Because then you see that all effort, I'm not talking about the physical movement, by the way. That can seem like effort, and that is just a movement of consciousness. All effort in terms of mental belief, psychological effort, the effort that we make to create a something where there is nothing, to try and create a something, all this effort is meaningless. If you had an option, you could live your life, that which you consider yourself to be, could live your life, or God could live your life. What would you pick? That is it. If the choice is only this one, even this choice is just optional, of course, but presume, since we love choice, if there is a choice, there is only this one. The thought, belief in thought will make a you, individual you. Without belief in that thought, there is only God. Who you want to run your life. Connection not so good today. These things sometimes it doesn't. Not much we can do about it today. The trouble can be, okay, I'm going to let God run my life, but I hope He doesn't make a mess of it. You really feel that is a possibility? I know this fear is rampant. I'm not denying the fear itself. But if you were to look at it, inquire into the validity of such a notion, like if God wants to make a mess of your life, then no matter how many thoughts you believe about yourself, it is going to happen. So what are you fighting? Just surrender. Surrender the false. Maybe the prodigal son who refuses to come back home to his father because of the fear. All my father received me. Why be insulted? Patchy today, yes. Move the mic a bit closer to myself. Yes, it is a bit patchy today because of the internet connection. These days, I think that when it becomes cloudy, then this thing doesn't work so well. Probably have to get a wired connection. But mainly it is audible. Some breaking up here and there is okay because I'm making the same point over and over again. Now, consciousness. What do you want? You want to first pick up the idea that I am something and then play from there? Or are you open enough to, for just a few moments, drop the notion of something? I've been saying more and more that the simplest way to explain everything that I'm saying is to say, don't make anything a thing. The moment you make anything a thing, you make a pretend something out of yourself. Nothing is actually a thing. You make them a thing mentally, with our belief in the mind. Does consciousness have a question? Does consciousness have a proclamation? Did consciousness get it? Can it lose it? Does it have an evolution happening? Is it changing in its nature in any way? That is why the sages have said, don't idolize that which is changing. That means don't idolize your thoughts, don't idolize your emotions. Allow these to come and go. What's truly in your heart altar? What's truly in your heart altar? In your inner citadel? Is there a limited person sitting there? If you don't find this person, how long will you continue to give it your belief? Just because we have invested so much in a false notion, should we keep investing in it? Hoping that one day there will be a real person that comes out and he is going to be or she is going to be very special. What is the ultimate person that you can be? Whatever you can imagine that to be does not compare the reality of who you are right now. That is why the great Indian sage Kabir said, "Pani mein meen pyasi, mohe dekhat aaye hansi," which means the fish is thirsting in the water, and I look at this and I laugh. But the reality is even more funny. An example: it is the water which is thirsting for the water. Seeing this, you have to laugh. If water came to you and said, please give me some water," you are that. But I have thoughts of the desert. What to do? Don't buy that story. But that story keeps coming. So what? You're still water. Drink up yourself. Have a taste of your own being. And tell me whether you taste a person. Dip into your own being. And tell me if it is the Ganga or it is some fish. So all fear, all confusion is about the non-existent, the idea that you have about yourself. You could consider yourself to be a cat, and that would be more accurate than what you consider yourself to be right now. Because even a clear image you don't have about yourself. You say, I feel like I am this body. Then I ask you, out of your last 5 problems, how many were just about the body? Maybe one. So who is the one that had that problem of money, of security, of freedom? Who is the one? Body wants freedom? Non-existent. At least if you're a cat, then you know, okay, let's give them some milk. So just the idea. This is the divine illusion. How you, consciousness, can consider yourself to be something so small, something with a duration, with a birth and a death. All through just your next thought, because you are free right now. So the struggle has not been to become free. The struggle has been to try and become a person, struggling every moment to find the next valid thought, to make me a better person, a bigger person. So consciousness, how you want to play. You want to pick up the personal mask? It is waiting for you. It is being brought to you in the conveyor belt of the mind. It's coming. One mask every moment it can come. Which mask do you prefer to wear? The enlightened person mask? The spiritual seeker mask? The not finding it yet mask? Not stable yet mask? These are your favorites. I see it, but I can't stay in it. This mask? Which mask? I got it, but I want to be seen to have got it. That mask. I want validation from the master or the sangha. That mask. Which mask? Okay, let's at least do one thing. Today, let's pick a fresh mask. All these old masks have become very old and smelly. Let's put them in the wash. If you're going to pick up a mask, let it be completely fresh, like a mask we've not worn before. Yeah? That much we can make a deal. Something completely new. Once, we played like this. I was sitting in the Satsang hall, and like all of you are sitting now. He said, "Okay, now you play as if you're Gopala." You remember? You play as if you're Gopala, you play as if you're Rashmi, you play as if you're Rama. All this. Don't put on the mask of your what is old and this thing. Take a fresh mask, which is the person. You remember that? Gopala might remember. So we then divided the room and then now you pick up the pose of that one. What they are believing, what they are thinking about themselves. And it became quite a strong exercise. It was meant to be fun. Then everybody was like, "Oh, so this is what he thinks about me."
Seems like it'll need too much effort to do this.
Yeah, someone was struggling to pick up. Yeah, you were like, "Father, I can't believe any thoughts about myself. How to believe Gopala thoughts?" That is good news. If it is true. Let's take an example of this confusion. Father, nastiness of my personhood is a fact. I can't offload this as an excuse to God. Now, the I in this must be coming from a limited notion about yourself, who can then outsource this problem to God or not. As long as you have this, and nothing needs to be said after this, as long as you have this notion that you are this I who can outsource it to God or offload it to God or to surrender it at the feet of my master, do it. Otherwise, you're not listening. If you retain it with your individuality, the mind is only going to mix more and more muck into it. If you offer it up truly from your heart, then it's going to be burnt up. Just drop it. Nothing belongs to you because you yourself are not a real entity. Then all these afflictions of need for attention, need for approval, need for something, will start to feel funny. They will just, you look at them and you wonder how they were given space, how consciousness wanted to play with these for so long. But till you feel like you own something and you want to deal with it yourself, you're giving more and more belief to your individual identity. At my father's feet, there is no room for you. Once you surrender there, then only my Father's feet are. Only your holy presence is present. Then we have to goad the words out of your mouth. Please speak something. How is it? How is it at my Father's feet? Please share something. Then you'll never hear, keep quiet from me. But for some time, you have to do it. Let this be your last doing.
Yeah, like you said, we truly listen, then there is no space. It's just silent.
Tears are very good. In the fire of the holy presence, when our favorite concepts are being burned, and sometimes these kind of tears are the byproducts. And we are discovering that beautiful silence of being.
was wondering,
Huh?
when the silence is there, I mean, like, look at us. It's quite rare. These beings, they come to a master. It's really, really rare. Doesn't happen everywhere in the world. It's so precious. So such a great blessing, Sangha coming to a master and enjoying the presence and the silence. It's incredibly beautiful.
There's a lot of gratitude here also for all of you, because you come knowing fully well that you will not get anything. In fact, whatever you might think that you have is also being taken away from you. So this kind of freedom you come, unburdened. I'm truly grateful for that.
We are spiritual addicts.
Spiritual addicts, even that addiction will not be nurtured here.
Thank you, Father. Shall I disclose something? No, I have to. I have to. I see you so many times as my own son. This is a
I
relationship
can't hear
which I
you
cannot.
well, but
No, this is a relationship which I cannot explain.
can't hear, my dear.
Oh, I will type.
Okay. It's okay, take. Like he got caught with his hand in the cookie jar. Taste your being. Taste your essence. You exist. No person ever existed. But you are. Consciousness is here. More than anything you can get in this world is your own presence. It cannot be bought, cannot be sold. Truly, if there is something priceless, Maharaj, you'd call it your only capital. The only capital you have in the world is your being. I am. I'm presuming that is when he was in a good mood. Other times he's also called it the I am infection. Prakash said we are spiritual addicts. So this is the root of all spirituality. This is the spirit itself, being. I am. Drink up if you're addicted to this. Has no side effects. This is your own holy Ganga. Drink up. Enjoy. No worldly taste compares to this. This is the taste we've been searching for. That which has always been here. We're trying to get that taste through worldly objects, through experiences. Nothing compares to you, your being. This is the nectar of your immortality. This is the bread that you are searching for. If you wear a mask and try to drink this, the mask will get in the way. See? When Guruji says, come naked, come open, it only means this. Come maskless. No notion of who you are. You are that in this moment. Thank you all so much for being in Satsang today. Sadhguru Sri Muji Baba ki Jai.
Sadhguru Sri Ananta Ji ki
Jai.